Hey guys, Bomb Primus here, and welcome to another Mass Effect update. This week, I'm going to be talking about two new DLCs that BioWare has officially announced for Mass Effect 3, alright? The first DLC is known as the Citadel DLC, alright? And basically, it's a single-player only DLC, it's not a multiplayer, alright? And basically, there's some stuff going around in the Citadel that you and your teammates have to go and investigate and, you know, see what's going on. There's some top-secret console archives you need to uncover and stuff like that. But the thing is, the original cast from Mass Effect 1 and 2 come back, including Erdont Rex, alright? The big Krogan guy from Mass Effect 1 that everybody loved and adored, right? Well, he's back. I guess what they mean by here is you actually get to use them as your teammates, because it says here, quote, uncover the truth and fight alongside your squad, as well as the cast from the original Mass Effect 1 and 2. Alright, it's not really sure if it's talking about you're gonna be able to have like interactions with your old teammates again, or you are gonna be able to actually have your teammates be as, like, you know, in your squad and whatnot, like having Kasumi, maybe having Mornif or Samara, or having Legion. Who knows, right? I don't know the full detail. They haven't really given out much information on who you can basically have in your squad. I'm assuming you can have Rex in your squad, but I'm not really sure. Alright, they didn't really say. It says fight alongside your squad, as well as a cast from original Mass Effect. So that's kind of debatable on what they mean. They can mean fight alongside your squad, the one you have right now, and then, oh, that's right, there's people from the original Mass Effect that's come to visit you. So who knows what they mean by that? We're just gonna have to see. Alright. What else says about here is that, you know, it's just a single player DLC, alright? You know, there's going to be unique content and cinematics featuring your friends and romance interests in the Mass Effect trilogy, alright? So that's pretty cool, you know, if you fell in love with Liara in the first game, but now your girlfriend is Tali, that's going to be kind of awkward, like, yeah, Liara, this is my girlfriend now, Tali, and it's like, awkward, alright? Or be even more awkward if you're with Liara and then the next time you're with Garrus and then you're like, wait, what? So it's gonna be pretty interesting how they're gonna do this and everything like that. And apparently it offers you one final chance to see the characters you have known for years and rekindle romances. So basically, maybe you really didn't like Tali, and it's like, oh, fuck Tali, I don't want to be with her. I guess what they're trying to say is, now you could be with Liara or any other character, right? So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how they're going to do this and everything. Another cool thing about this single-player DLC is that you're going to be able to go to the Citadel's Silver Coast Casino, alright? That's going to be pretty cool. Alright, I know a lot of people are talking about they're going to be able to go to the casino. There's been pictures of, you know, casinos and stuff like that BioWare was like releasing and everything. So it's confirmed. I guess you can play some poker, some, you know, blackjack or whatever, right? I wonder what kind of games they're going to have in this casino, right? Another thing is you can blow off your steam in Armex Combat Arena. Alright, that's pretty cool. I wonder how this combat arena is gonna work. I'm assuming it's not gonna be multiplayer based, like you can go against other shepherds and stuff, but I'm assuming maybe you can go against old enemies, or kind of like a simulation, if you would, maybe, of actually fighting and stuff. That would be really excellent for people who just want to hone their skills or whatever. Or maybe there might be some like leaderboards in which people can see, like, okay, so and so got 15,000 points, I want to beat his record, kind of like what Gotham's Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City did with the challenges and stuff like that, where you have single player missions, but then they're posted up. You know, other games do that too, but I'm just saying Batman Arkham Asylum because that's an example I can only think of right now. Alright, another thing is you can explore and furnish Shepard's own living quarters on the Citadel. So apparently you get to have your own room in the Citadel, like an apartment or something. You can decorate it, things like that. That's gonna be freaking nifty. Alright, it's just cool that they're doing that now. I don't know why they didn't do it before, but, you know, I guess they're doing it now. And that's pretty much it. You know, there's a story behind this single-player DLC, alright? You get to visit all your old characters from Mass Effect 1 and 2, alright? I'm assuming you can play with your old characters again, you know, like with Rex and Legion and stuff like that. That you could get to have them in your squad, maybe. I'm not really sure about that. We gotta see. And also, you get to go to the casino. There's a combat arena. You get your own apartment, and basically, you can also rekindle romances or other relationships you have with other people in the trilogy, right? So that's going to be pretty cool. It actually comes out worldwide on March 5th on Xbox 360, PC, and PS3. Unfortunately, Europe gets it March 6th, so you European people out there, you get it March 6th. For the PS3, mind you, if you're PS3 European, you get it March 6th, a day late. I don't know why, but whatever. And the price is $15. Alright, BioWare has been going this route of making all their single-player DLCs now $15, alright? The Omega DLC, in my opinion, for $15 was decent, but I thought it was a little bit overpriced for what it is. The actual DLC was awesome. The Omega DLC was awesome. It was great. It was fun, but had some downsides to it that you couldn't keep your characters and whatnot. Also, the fact that you couldn't basically do really much in the Omega at all. That's it. Once you go to Omega, that's it. You can't go back again. So it was kind of a disappointment that you couldn't go back to the Omega homeworld and everything. Not homeworld, Omega station, if you would, to kind of visit it and things like that. It was kind of disappointing, but whatever. So I think the $15 for that was a little bit overpriced. I don't know how this is going to be. If it has a lot of content, if you get all your old characters back and you can take them back to do your old missions, that will be stupendous. But I'm not really sure if they're going to do that. Just the fact that if they will allow you to basically have Rex and Legion and, just an example, Kasumi back on your team and everything, they're going to have to do a whole bunch of new cinematics for every ending, in which, for example, right before you get hit by whatchamacallit, Harbinger, you basically evacuate your teammates. What if Kasumi and Rex were there? That means they would have to do another cinematic sequence with Rex and Kasumi. So I'm not sure if they're gonna allow you to take these characters out of the Citadel. It's probably gonna be one of those things that, like in the Omega DLC, where it's a one-time thing. Once you're done with the DLC, that's it. You can't do anything else with them, right? I hope it's not the case, but whatever. I want to hear your opinions about this Citadel single-player DLC. $15. I think it's a little bit high priced, but we're just got to see if it's worth it or not. I'll probably do some research first before actually buying it, because to be honest, the $15 for the Omega DLC was a little bit overpriced for what it is. $10 would have been fine, but $15 a little bit overpriced in my opinion. So yeah, that's it for the single player DLC. Now for the multiplayer DLC. Alright, funny enough, the multiplayer DLC was a rumor. It wasn't confirmed like the other single player DLC, because in the single player DLC, it was confirmed by the actors and the composers and the directors and all that stuff who were making Mass Effect 3. Confirmed it long ago that yes, we're making another single player DLC. It's going to be our last one. It's going to be basically revamping everything again, blah 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 blah, right? But they never really mentioned anything about the multiplayer DLC. We never really got pictures of it, except one picture of a Krogan carrying a battle axe. But a lot of people thought that was going to be a single player DLC. But fortunately, it is true. There is a new multiplayer DLC coming out. All right, mind you, it is free. All right, just like the other multiplayer DLC, so you don't have to worry about paying for this one. So you have to get this one, even if you don't want it, just get it. All right, it's free. And basically, what you get here, it's called the Reckoning DLC. Alright, so you people out there who were saying, oh, it's the new multiplayer DLC, it's the Reckoning DLC, you're right. Congrats on you. So basically what you get in this DLC is a Geth Juggernaut, alright, a female Turian Raptor. Awesome, I guess, because since the Omega DLC came out and everything, and you're able to play with that female Turian and everything. You get Talon Mercenaries. I don't know what that's going to be, probably maybe a Sentinel class. And then you get an Alliance infiltration unit, which I really don't know what that is. I'm assuming maybe it's gonna be like a revamped infiltrator, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? We just gotta see about that. And more. All right, that's all it says. And more. So it says Geth Juggernaut, female Turian Raptor, Talon Mercenary, Alliance infantry unit, and then it says and more. Alright, so I'm assuming maybe BioWare is going to add more characters later on, but for the time being, it's just like this for now. Alright, And then you get more weapons apparently. So some of the weapons that you get, actually there's 7 new weapons, mind you. I'm actually scrolling down right now. It says your Geth Spitfire Assault Rifle, Venom Shotgun, Lancer Assault Rifle, and amplifying your arsenal of new equipment and weapon mods, Geth Scanner, Assault Rifle Omni Blade, things like that. It said 7 new weapons, but they didn't give us the full list. I apologize for that. I thought they were gonna say the full list. I should have read it before, but it didn't. So I guess Geth Spitfire Assault Rifle, Venom Shotgun, Lance Assault Rifle, and 4 more weapons that they're gonna be releasing as well. Maybe they're still kind of working on it or something like that. Who knows, right? So that's gonna be pretty cool. You're gonna be having more weapons in your arsenal. You're gonna have more equipments, more mods, things like that. That's gonna be freaking spectacular, in my opinion. I like how BioWare is always having this free multiplayer DLC stuff. I think that's the best route for multiplayer things. Obviously Call of Duty and Battlefield, they went the other route, but whatever, that's for another video. All right, so this Reckoning DLC, what's gonna have new characters, all right, including female Tyrion, Raptor, Talon Mercenary, Alliance Infiltration Unit, and Geth Juggernaut. You're gonna have a Krogan Warlord as well, carrying a biotic hammer. So that image that we all saw with a Krogan with a hammer or axe or whatever, that is confirmed. That is a multiplayer character you get to have. That's going to be pretty awesome to see people using. You get 7 new weapons. Some of them are the Geth Spitfire. You get the Venom Shotgun and the Lancer Assault Rifle. New mods, new equipment. And that's it. That's basically all you get in this Reckoning DLC, alright? It actually comes out February 26th for Xbox 360, PC, and PS3. Same thing with Europe. You are 1 day delayed, so you come out February 27th for PS3 European users, alright? And that's basically it, alright? That's all I got to say this week. That's pretty awesome that BioWare is releasing all these DLCs. The Reckoning DLC is coming out in a few days, actually. I think probably, what was it, Monday? I think it's Monday. It's actually next Tuesday. That's going to be pretty awesome. And then, the single-player DLC is going to be quite unique. I'm probably going to be doing some research and see how that one is, because if it doesn't have much content, I probably won't buy it. But if it does have a lot of content, I will definitely buy it. I'm still one of those people that loves playing Mass Effect, and I'm still playing the, my second single-player match and everything. So that's pretty cool that they're releasing this other single-player DLC. There's the last one, so there's no more multiplayer, no more single-player DLCs for Mass Effect 3. That's it. BioWare is done with Mass Effect 3. So if you haven't bought any DLCs, I don't know, maybe this one might be the one that you want to get. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. And that's it. All right. So I'll see you around. All right. There will be another update video later on this today or this week for the N7 Bounty weekend. All right. So stay tuned, guys. I'll see you around. Peace. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please press the little like button down below. Also, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you want more updates on what's going on my channel, just visit me on Twitter or at my Facebook page. So, this is Paul Primus, keep it crunchy, and peace out.